All right, you guys, we're back. It's your boy EQ, and up next we have the victims of ADAM22, one of the biggest culture vultures in the game. But yeah, shout out to Lou Asta for the video. Honestly, this creator is really, really dope. Again, enough dilly-dallying. We'll jump right into the video because there's a lot of victims and like that lie in the wake of NoJumper. But yeah, the video again is entitled "The Victims of ADAM22."
ADAM22 has had his fair share of controversies since starting his brand NoJumper. A platform that made a name for itself by giving underground rappers a voice, has evolved into one of the most toxic.
He was smart. He was serving a very underserved area of hip hop, which was the SoundCloud rappers, and he bet on that and won really big by having interviews like XXXTentacion, who went on to become these huge moments.
Chaotic and unpredictable phenomena in the media landscape. Cause while Adam's influence has helped propel rappers to the next stage of their career, it doesn't make up for the times that he downright disrespected those who work for him, rappers, or fellow media personalities. Adam has ruffled up feathers so much that it even resulted into him getting cancelled, turned into a meme, or literally got him physically attacked. Which was the case when he started beef with a rapper who goes by the name of Russ.
Hey. I'll turn around and boop! Oh. Got punched in the goddamn head.
Although he's built a name for himself as being one of the most successful independent rappers the hip-hop genre has ever seen flourish.
Nah, shout out to Russ, man. Like, I may not be a fan of the music, but I respect the man's hustle. The dude really bet on himself big, and he's been winning because of it. The guy does arena tours, and the projects do really well for him.
Russ would constantly be at the center of ADAM22's jokes on social media.
I gotta admit it, today I'm doing an interview with Russ and Lil Dicky.
To understand why, it's important to note that Russ's brand revolves around spreading positivity and motivating up-and-coming artists. However, similar to how Logic, Chance the Rapper, or Kyle were perceived by a vast majority of the hip-hop audience,
corny.
Russ would be labeled corny for being a bit too positive. And his beef with ADAM22 showed just how much it really got to him. It all started in October of 2017, after ADAM22 asked his fans if they would rather let their kids listen to Russ or Lil Xan, where Russ would end up losing by a wide margin. To add salt to the wound, he would then joke about the then 25-year-old rapper for his anti-drug t-shirt that read, "How much Xans and lean do you have to do before you realize you're a fucking
What's his name? Smoke Perp.
And I seriously can't believe I'm saying this, but ADAM22 had a problem with Russ not wanting to do drugs. You see, ADAM22 is known to have done many of these substances throughout his life, and has also co-signed tons of rappers like Lil Pump, Lil Xan, and Smoke Perp, who were all well-known users at one point in time. Feeling as if they were being sneak dissed by Russ, Lil Pump and Smoke Perp embarked on a journey to show how much they hated him, tweeting things like, "Shut the f up, you bitch," and "Me and J. Cole cool now, so now it's Russ." ADAM22 didn't hesitate to join in on the fun with a few tweets of his own.
It's crazy because Russ really stood on business, and when his entourage and him saw Smoke Perp at that festival over in like the UK, I want to say, they definitely stomped him out like 2 or 3 times. So like, yeah, sometimes you can call him corny, but he's successful enough to hire some pretty big security guards, man. So just be careful.
In one case,
Words do
he
have
literally changed the text on the shirt to say, "How much Xans and lean do you have?" and literally posted it on the official NoJumper account. And after enduring relentless online attacks, Russ and his crew reached a breaking point. They didn't just go after Smoke Perp, who had posted photos of Russ's sister online, but they also targeted ADAM22. And it wasn't long before Adam claimed that he got jumped at a nail salon by Russ's goons for what he said.
All of a sudden, I just hear ADAM22. I'm thinking it's somebody wanting a photo, so I'm like, oh God, can't I just get my fucking nails done? I'll turn around and boom!
It's weird they didn't just call him Adam, but
got punched in the goddamn head. Didn't see the guy that well, but punched me in the head one time, and then I believe I got hit again, sort of on the top of the head.
Although Russ was able to squash his beef with Smoke Perp eventually, it wasn't the same for Adam. Instead, he claimed he got what he desered.
We're talking real simple shit. People talk shit and then got punches thrown at them. Big deal, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you motherfuckers acting like we're running around out here getting people killed and shit. Like, bro, you talked extensive shit on a consistent basis
Yeah, for real.
about someone you had never met in your life or talked to.
And you could tell that Russ does have like a chip on his shoulder. Like in his interviews, he kind of does convey that. You can see it a little bit, where it's like me against the world type of mentality. But he does bring a lot of positivity, especially to like how they were saying, like these underground acts and artists. He does put on people to a lot of game.
And as a result, they responded and ended up punches got thrown your way. Big deal. Like if you like, I don't understand. Like when you push and shove someone consistently for a year, if you don't think that there's going to be some sort of a response, then I'm really confused on how you think this world operates.
Later, Russ took to Twitter and pointed out how grown-ass 40-year-olds who talk shit should face repercussions for their actions. However, the whole thing would backfire on Russ, as social media began to point out how he came out looking like a man who couldn't fight his own battles.
Yeah.
And some claim that he...
Like I said, these aren't people he grew up with. These aren't homies. These are literally security guards in his entourage.
wouldn't have that same energy that he had for Adam had it been someone more street like Chief Keef. People already don't like him. Now he's outright bragging about getting people jumped. I give him 6 months before something bad happens to him. ADAM22, on the other hand, came out looking like the victor in this situation and basically apologized for everything he said to Russ after the incident.
I know for a fact that he has had other people sent after other people I know, yeah. I'm over. I just want to say for now that me and Russ have squashed things. Much love to Russ.
Of course, it's like the situation that a lot of these people have. They get this money and they become a boss, like a 6ix9ine who wasn't really active, gets this money, and now you're calling out hits and stuff like that. It's honestly almost like the natural progression once you get that type of money and you're in that type of environment.
I plan on listening to his music someday. I'm going to give it a try.
He then said that he was just trolling at the end of the day.
But at the end of the day, it's like, I'm a troll and I'm funny.
Farming for engagement,
like,
fam. That can get
you're just
you
making
messed
more
up.
shit for me to make content out of. It's just more shit for me to talk about.
ADAM22 even admitted that a lot of the drama started because he was on the same drug that Russ was preaching against.
Russ brought it up to me that there was a lot of tweets that I didn't remember, probably because I was zanned the fuck out, just like his t-shirt said, where I was basically like really roasting this motherfucker. And I don't do that now. Like I'm not gonna just use like a rapper as a punchline, like in the way that I was doing there, where I was really like
he uses his friends and other people as well now,
treating him like he wasn't a human being, you know? Which to me, I don't approve of that or condone that.
While Russ might have gotten embarrassed for not fighting his own fights, it certainly wasn't as bad as China Mac, who got exposed after going too close to the fire.
I think you being the biggest cook in the world got your head and your ego all the way up there. You think you're like this big hot shot guy, but in actuality, you just like laughing stock for the world.
In late 2023, NoJumper fan favorite and friend of ADAM22, Crip Mac, would be arrested once again on gun charges, leading to some friction between ADAM22 and Crip Mac's manager, China Mac, who was upset that Adam wasn't willing to come stand in court to help with Crip Mac's case. Of course not.
When you go there and you're basically like putting your reputation on the line, putting your name on the line, to think that Crip Mac probably isn't gonna like reoffend, he'd probably be like, yo, I could see where ADAM22 would like kind of think it would be a smarter move to not involve yourself with that case. You go and you put your name like on the line for this person, the odds of Crip Mac reoffending and doing some wild shit again, the odds are probably really high. So I could see why.
Because I knew that the judge would tell the lawyer to put in a motion, I wanted to, before we even put in a motion, to have people of the community to represent Crip Mac
character,
in the
like
courtroom, to show
judgments.
that Crip Mac isn't a criminal that's running the streets doing criminal shit, that he's actually has a job, that he's actually doing community work, and that he's handling business, as he would say, right? So first person I asked was who? ADAM22. I hit ADAM22 up. I'm like, yo, Adam, fucking Crip Mac got court. It's very important. Can you guys come to court and say that, you know, he's employed with you guys, and that, you know, if
also, man, if you go down there and put your name and he do something, does that like kind of like get the ball rolling on them kind of like looking into your business a little more? Who knows? Like I'm not sure, but maybe that was a reason as well.
He was to be given bond.
You already have all these like you already have a plethora of gang members in there.
Work and that he's not messing up. So he said, "Oh, I'm booked. I have a interview that day." Crip Mac could be coming home. He could be home for the holidays because you know, go up there and say he has a job. I've seen it happen. I've seen judges let people go because, you know, their employers came into the courtroom and said, you know, he's employed and whatever. So I seen that happen, so I knew there was a possibility. So that's why I even asked Adam. I really didn't want to ask Adam for nothing, honestly. This is for somebody's freedom. This is for somebody that you call your friend.
Yeah, it's also your client who you make money off of. So obviously there's an eagerness to make sure he's out to make money for you. Not to say that they can't be friends, obviously, but yeah, two things can be true.
Your buddy waddy, you know, whatever the fuck else he calls him, you know what I'm saying?
However, ADAM22 didn't take too kindly to being called a bad friend and started firing back with videos of his own.
I seen China Mac talking shit, running his mouth. Let me explain something to you. I got 20 full-time employees, and when I have a day of 4 full-length interviews, that shit's important to me. That shit impacts the bottom line. And I'm not really feeling sitting here and taking business advice from some guy who can't even manage his own career. Never mind Crip Mac. I mean, you were trying to be his manager. He got this case. He caught all these gun charges under your watch, so that's on you. And then this dude who's never been...
At the end of the day, people are going to do what they're going to do. You can give them all the chaperones in the world. If they going to abuse some type of drug, if they're going to commit some type of act, sometimes it really is out of your power because they're going to do what they're going to do.
Been successful at anything in his
no
entire
matter how
life,
well you try to like manage them.
Business. Bro, if you wanted me at the bail hearing, you should have told me more than 24 hours in advance and I would have made it happen.
1000%.
In fact, I was just talking to Lupe and we are going to make it happen because she actually gave me some good notice. But meanwhile, you are just out here in no man's land because everything that you ever tried to do streaming wise has absolutely failed. And now Crip Mac's gone, so you can't glaze him any further since that was the only thing giving you any kind of relevance. This is why China Mac doesn't understand me. It's because his schedule is open today, tomorrow, the day after that, and every day for the rest of time. And
I get that, but if it's for like the freedom of somebody you really call a homie, then do you not like would you guys not like cancel everything to make sure? Obviously there's some things that maybe would be uncancelable, but knowing that platform, like, would it be a stretch to think that some of these acts would probably be cool with rescheduling? Who knows?
I'm not joking. This is a grown-ass man with no responsibilities, no business, no employees, no dependents, nothing. He got nothing going on. So how the fuck are you going to sit there and talk about a grown-ass multimillionaire with 20 people on the payroll when you got nothing going on? And China Mac, I don't even want to get into this because people that I don't want to offend are going to get hurt in the process. But tell them why you ain't been on Vlad in a few years.
The incident that ADAM22 is referring to is the DJ Vlad interview with China Mac 2 years ago, where China Mac narrated his entire fight with former NoJumper host AD.
I had balanced myself because I hit the wall. I kind of like was about to fall, but the wall held me up. And then I got back up. And when I got back up, he tried to rush me. So when he rushed me, I sidestepped. You know what I'm saying? Like I sidestepped and I just kind of pushed him this way. And he fell on the floor. So when he fell on the floor, at that moment, his head was like right there. So I went over there to try to kick it.
The only problem with this was that the fight was completely staged and it never really happened.
Crazy.
Apparently, China Mac was just trying to appear tough on camera. Interestingly, what really made Vlad blacklist China Mac from his channel...
When you got another one of the most hated people in hip-hop blacklisting you, it's like some serious shit too, man. Bam.
Was the time he pranked him with a life-threatening situation.
Hey, I'm all loud, bro. Yo, bro. Yo, what y'all doing? What you doing, bro? What's up, girl?
Yeah, you can't play like that. Obviously, Vlad should take every threat seriously, especially with like the career he's had. He's definitely ruffled a lot of feathers, and if I was him, I would definitely like see every threat as credible. You know, if I was like Vlad, obviously.
Oh man. I think you should go. Yo, hey yo.
Get the strap.
Yo, hey yo, Vlad. Pranked.
I don't know, prank, fam.
You've been pranked, Vlad!
Vlad wasn't too happy with China Mac after this and banned him from appearing in his interviews, as things could have gone very differently in that situation. However, China Mac would respond to Adam, admitting that he might have chased clout, but Adam does the same thing, only worse.
But now that you said you're gonna go to Crip Mac's court hearing, that's really all that matters to me. You feel me? Because I do care about the brother.
Still.
You know what I'm saying? I do want him to get home. So I know that, you know, ADAM22 and NoJumper, y'all could, you know, really help bro come home. So that's all I'm really worried about. I don't want to go back and forth with ADAM22. I'm really not interested in that. You know what I'm saying? He called me a clout chaser. You know what I mean? But I'm like, okay.
Again,
I mean, I've done some cloutivities. Don't get me twisted. I've done some cloutivities. You know what I'm saying? But we on the internet. Who hasn't? But if I'm chasing clout, then ADAM22, what the fuck are you doing? And also, not to mention, you let another man fuck your wife, bro. Like, if that's not chasing it, then what is?
This brings us to our next victim, Jason Love, the star who slept with Adam's wife only a few days after their wedding.
What a weird
and
situation.
went on a press run clowning Adam shortly after.
Do you think that you fucked her better than Adam did?
Well, obviously, yes.
I feel like, honestly, Adam probably okayed all this stuff. At the end of the day, like I said before, no news is bad news. So even if they're talking about you in a negative light, people are still going to go click on the video to see him do these acts. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I feel like for Adam, it wouldn't be a stretch to think that, like, fam, he wanted this to go down. He wants this stuff, like, to happen. It's crazy. The more you get talked about, the more people are going to be clicking on your stuff, even if it's for, like, a negative act like this.
But I'm pretty sure he probably felt different with Adam for her because love is involved emotions. But as for the physical aspect of getting, obviously.
ADAM22 and his wife Lena the Plug have been heavily involved in the porn industry for the past couple of years. But while Adam has had the chance to sleep with plenty of different types of women in their content, Lena has never shot a scene with anyone besides Adam. Which is why it went insanely viral when he announced that a scene would be coming out with her in another.
Yeah, and I don't think this was foreign for them to do. Just it was foreign that they haven't filmed it yet. Obviously, I want to say they've already spoken about how they do this in their personal lives, like all the time.
Guy. Well, one thing that's for sure is that it went viral.
Which is cool.
But
that's
it wasn't a good look for ADAM22 because shortly after the scene aired, he was getting cooked by all sorts of people on the internet. You seriously couldn't scroll Twitter, YouTube, or TikTok without seeing a joke with ADAM22 as the punchline during.
It's like, yeah, it's that one or the ADAM16. It's I've been seeing it more and more on the daily.
this time, but strangely, nothing seemed to affect him. He was joining in on the jokes and making light of the entire situation since he was still making ridiculous bags from it. But when Jason Love went on a press run, breaking down how he annihilated Adam's wife during filming, Adam couldn't hold his tongue anymore, prompting a response that everyone thought should have stayed in the drafts.
Hey, Jason Love, I trusted you to pork my wife. Seems
Yo,
like that cloud is getting to your head.
Yo, man. The pork my wife, man, is a no, man. Come on, man. Have at least a little bit of respect for him.
I'm talking real spicy and I ain't really feeling it. Don't make me expose you. And you know what I'm talking about. It could get real messy out here. Number 4, you don't want problems moving around in these LA streets.
This guy's a clown.
I'm very well connected. And number 5, you are officially blacklisted from smashing my wife again. Show some respect.
While things might have seemed to flare up between them, it's important to remember that they were both making ludicrous amounts of money from the video, and they were never even friends. It was just business.
And marketing.
Unlike Lil House Phone, who got outed by Adam and got embarrassed when he tried to stand up for himself. Lil House Phone had been ADAM22's closest friend for about 7 years.
And he talks about all the time that he smashed Lena too before they were together. How much of that like brings resentment, you know? Who knows? This guy obviously seems like he's letting everybody smash her.
But little did he know how hard Adam would betray him when the transgender star Gracie Jane claimed she had personal information about him. On ADAM22's Sledgelord's podcast, Adam had hosted her on the show, knowing she had something to do with House Phone. Right from the beginning of the podcast, it was pretty clear that she had malicious intentions.
What would you describe the tone of this episode as being?
I mean, we're gonna have fun today. I'm gonna have a lot of fun today.
A lot of fun today.
Hell yeah.
And by the time we get into the podcast, she's already name-dropping House Phone, and ADAM22 only makes it
savage.
worse.
Never mind. I'm gonna impersonate someone that I shouldn't.
That looked down upon to expose that somebody may have been with a trans person?
Yeah, absolutely. I sign NDAs and I take them very seriously. So just letting
you
everybody
didn't
know
get
that.
one, I'm guessing.
You didn't?
Yeah, this guy, man.
Just air him out. But I feel like
freebie?
in general, that's
you
kind of
pay
a
for
thing.
discretion in this world, okay?
Uh-huh.
All right. I am a.
She's already name-dropping house phone, and Adam22 only makes it worse.
Never mind. I'm gonna impersonate someone that I shouldn't.
The craziest thing is that if anyone in that company has like final say over an edit, it's Adam. So he recorded this. He said to House Phone that he put it in the notes that they were gonna like erase that part or cut that part, and obviously they didn't. So it really does fall all on Adam, this one.
That looked down upon to expose that somebody may have been with a trans person?
Yeah, absolutely. I sign NDAs and I take them very seriously. So
Anybody, it's wrong to expose anybody for like having relations with anybody. You know, it could be hetero relationships. If they're not ready for it to be known, it's on them to decide when they want to, if it ever publicize like their sex history and stuff like that, man.
Just letting everybody know that.
You didn't get one, I'm guessing.
You didn't.
Just air them out. But I feel like in general, that's kind of a
You pay for
thing.
discretion in this world, okay?
Uh-huh.
All right. I am a very, very honest person, and I'm well-known, vetted.
As the interview is about to end, Adam realizes that he might have taken it a little bit too far.
I have a feeling that this will soon be about him.
Oh,
I'm going to be hearing a lot about this.
Tell him to take it up with me. I don't give a.
I would like to say the same, but it seems like I'm worried about people calling me a bad friend for just not.
You are a bad friend for this,
They're gonna
man.
be mad at me.
After the interview, Adam hit up House Phone, who pleads with him.
They could have honestly scrapped the whole interview, and I don't think it would have hurt them at all. 3-4 hours of recording? Dude, just pay the camera guy and pay the sound guy for their time and just like scrap the episode easily.
Him to not upload the video, but knowing that Adam isn't gonna agree, he tells him to make sure the editors cut it out. However, the editors missed a lot of parts that mentioned House Phone when the video initially came out, which permanently altered House Phone's image to the public. When House Phone confronted him, he was quickly reminded of what kind of person Adam22 was.
But let's rewrite this and let's say that they had properly edited everything out and there wasn't anything in that episode that suggested anything about you.
they still would have put 2 and 2 together.
No, because I told them to take out everything where there was any instance of this person saying anything about anyone I knew. That was the intention.
But,
and if that had happened,
but the intention doesn't matter at a certain
still
point.
happened.
I agree. And that's why I felt like shit about it.
I don't give a fuck about you feeling
I
like
can't believe
shit.
that you're acting like you don't believe me.
You keep trying to do this victim white boy thing where you're trying to make it about you. It's not about you, Adam.
I understand that
like,
you have clearly suffered a lot more from this. I just also want you to understand that this.
No, this is going to affect House Phone way more than it'll affect Adam, obviously. For Adam to make it seem like he's a victim in any of this kind of is crazy. Because at the end of the day, it's really only affecting like House Phone like that. As far as you, it's basically just showing and cementing the fact. Another event that's showing that you're just a bad friend and where content is king and you're going to do whatever to get that viral moment. You knew what you had, bro. And honestly, you could have easily scrapped the whole interview. Dude, it's your company. People scrap interviews all the time. People have scrapped interviews because the guests didn't feel comfortable with something in there and they just scrap them and they agree to reconvene at a later date and refilm another one. It happens all the time.
This is not.
I don't give a fuck. It's not about you. It's not about you at all.
I'm not trying to make it about me.
You had the power in your hand for it not to happen at all. You're talking about, yeah, he's been going through the mom shit. He's been going through the health shit. You're talking about the person
his mom's death.
Raised me, that birthed
savage,
me, my
man.
best friend that died. Oh, he's been going through the mom shit.
But are you actually acting like I have some kind of
minimizing
for your
it?
mom when
You're respectful as
I paid for the
first of all,
funeral as soon as it happened just because.
I see why House Phone would get upset.
This is not even
Obviously.
the worst part.
You definitely did minimize it, and then you threw the fact that you did that in his face, you know? That you're doing a kind act. You shouldn't just go throw it in their face.
About this confrontation. It sucks more for House Phone because he was forced to sit back down and continue the podcast after
Dude held him like
acting
a toddler.
which didn't help his already plummeting reputation. Some people speculate that this was all planned out by Adam22 because he didn't like the fact that House Phone smashed his wife before him. But if you ask me, this is clearly another case of Adam being insensitive and scaring away his employees. because
I
after
think he's down
this,
for all
House
that
Phone
shit.
would leave NoJumper forever, setting the blueprint for AD and T-Rel, who followed suit after being mistreated by
It's crazy because House Phone was a day one. A lot of those iconic videos and stuff like that, like he's a part of a lot of that stuff.
Adam. AD and T-Rel were street-savvy guys who joined the NoJumper show following his impressive
saved his ass
performances
many
in
a
various
times, too.
interviews. AD was this cool guy who had a great sense of humor and was adored by the audience.
That was drunk as and I started crip walking and shit, and man, Big U recorded it. Shout out to Unc. He put it on his Instagram and they tore me a new one.
Really?
On Instagram.
Oh my God.
He's the main one, man. Spin moves and tornadoes and all type of shit.
Right.
So I had to live that for like 2 weeks, and since then I ain't crip walk no more.
T-Rel, on the other hand, was very charismatic on the mic and always got people interested in what he was saying.
Once we moved to the 50s, it got crazy.
And that's when you felt like you needed to squad up or what?
For the 50s,
I feel like this is when stuff kind of started to shift and it became a lot more regional because it definitely became a lot more LA based. And it's hard for people across the country to like relate to a lot of this stuff when everything is like the topics are so region based. Like obviously they still have their viral moments and stuff like that. But when it's just like gangbanging lifestyle in LA, like you're neglecting a huge part of your like core fan base that are there for like the hip hop.
yeah. I mean, for the 50s, it just felt like it was a family-oriented neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? We didn't cross the tracks, like we didn't go out the 50s.
Their addition to the NoJumper platform brought new life into the brand at a time when
It's crazy. There are dudes in LA that have never even been to the beach and they live in LA, which is crazy because they don't leave their hood.
their content was beginning to get stale. However, tensions would slowly rise years down the line when T-Rel and AD would start their own shows disconnected from NoJumper. They felt like they could get their own shows running on the side while still collecting checks from NoJumper. At first, this wasn't a huge problem for their boss ADAM22, as AD
It's when they started getting popping and generating more than what they were generating at NoJumper. But dude, honestly, shame on like Adam for like being like for having no foresight and not thinking that these people couldn't capitalize on your platform and create their own platform. If you didn't want them to do this, you should have put it in the contract and then they wouldn't have. But the fact that they didn't have this specified in there, you can't really do anything when they go and create this. It was on you. You could have easily put an end to that by just including it in the contract. Hey, there's a no competition clause. Can't really have another show going on simultaneously. There's even such language that you could put in there that even if I let you go, you got to wait a whole year before you can compete. Stuff like that. It's honestly whatever you can negotiate, but that's Adam's fault for not like having foresight.
he had become a close friend he could rely on, and they all still made substantial contributions to the shows. But as their platforms
And
began
his life.
booming, Adam started to become more critical of AD and was even having reservations about keeping him on the show.
He was doing like 3 streams a week, 4 streams a week outside of that show, and he was kind of like saving topics. Like he didn't want to. He wasn't giving him his full self.
However, this wasn't the only reason Adam didn't want AD on the show anymore. You see, Adam had invited a man called Richard Spencer to the show, which a lot of the staff weren't too happy with for very obvious reasons.
Richard Bernard Spencer is an American anti-Semitic conspiracy theorist and white
racist.
Spencer has advocated for the enslavement of Haitians by whites and for the ethnic cleansing of the racial minorities of the United States, additionally expressing admiration for the political tactics of the American Nazi Party.
Even though this person claims to be reformed, it's not hard to understand why a lot of NoJumper staff wouldn't want him on the show, especially since most of them are minorities.
Yeah, man, at the end of the day, you can't just be oblivious. Bro, if you're creating this type of like uneasiness at like in the workplace, like I know it's your company and I know you call like, and I know you have final say and you call the shots and stuff like that, but you still have to like, dude, you honestly still have to give a shit about like your employees. Like at the end of the day, they're not just like workers, they're also your on-air talent. So if now they feel like this like uneasiness, it's going to translate to their content and you're losing there. All for what? NoJumper tried to like pivot into more politics, having people like this guy or Nick Fuentes or Destiny on there. And honestly, that's not really why like the fan base is there. They're there for like hip hop. And then now obviously you do have the scores of people that are in there for like the gang content and stuff like that. But bro, like the politics is such a far departure from any of that stuff. So like fam, you're doing all this and like getting like your staff and your host and the talent like riled up for what? Something that obviously didn't even like pan out. It's crazy.
AD in particular decided to voice his opinions on the NoJumper Wednesday show.
Good for him.
All this shit got shied past in the interview. I don't appreciate that shit.
Tough questions.
I'm a little disappointed Adam though, because like, you know, you have a mostly black staff. You feel what I'm saying? This NoJumper is built off of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And
Facts.
before you bring somebody over here, bro, like, nah, this your company. I ain't telling you what to do, but you gotta have more respect for your people, man, and the people that fuck with you and help make this platform better. I don't fuck with that shit.
Now, Adam wasn't a huge fan of what AD had said on the Wednesday show, and also wasn't feeling his performance.
I think a big portion of it was that it was publicly. I think that's what really rubbed him the wrong way.
On the Tuesday show. But instead of just talking to him about it like a normal boss, ADAM22 decides to trash AD while gossiping with a fellow co-host, Lush, who then leaked their conversation in the NoJumper fan Discord that AD was going to be taken off the Tuesday show. Now, obviously AD was pissed, since from his perspective, he was getting bashed behind his back by his boss, and fans were the ones telling him about decisions that were being made on the show.
Bro, I don't give a about you keeping me on a Tuesday podcast. I care about nigga supposed to be my homeboy. Nigga, if you gonna make a business move, do your business move. Do what you gotta do. But don't talk behind my back, and don't talk to a nigga you just met, and don't have mother sitting there saying that shit. That make me look crazy. That make it look like everything. That make it look like everything that I did, and you know. Anytime something get cracked, listen. Every time something get cracking in that office, who the first nigga that go outside and do this shit and ready for whatever?
Is it you, Adam?
No, I'm asking you. I'm asking you on some real shit.
What's even worse is
there's been multiple occasions where like AD has basically saved Adam's life. I think AD was wrong in seeing Adam as a friend when, like, dude, honestly, like, example after example, we have like Adam over here sacrificing any relationship in like the name of content.
Adam's allergic reaction to accountability.
How can you fault me for trying to have a conversation with one of the other co-hosts behind the scenes about something that
is me and your relationship like me and his relationship? I like to think that me and you are deeper than all these niggas.
No, but he's one of the other people who's on the podcast, so I was having a conversation with him about it that was supposed to be private.
I've been next to you, you know, in life or death situations, have I not?
Yeah, but I don't know what that.
I've been right there with you, bro. I've been right there with you, bro. Ready to risk it all. At any given time, anybody had a problem with you, I'm ready to end it all. So the fact I get done like that shit weak as.
Well, done like what? Like I had.
The music does make it so melodramatic, though. I'm like feeling myself getting sucked into the moment, man. No Diddy.
A conversation about you with Lush. Like I agree.
You know what's crazy? Lush is a clown because this is like. Lush is a clown because this has definitely happened to him on live, and I don't know if he would say he enjoyed like how Adam did him, like getting reamed out like on live stream. So for him to do these type of things, like, bro, you're a cornball, fam.
I don't like the tone of one of the things I said in the conversation, which was just
Adam, for once, bro, just own that shit, cuz you did me wrong, bro.
Their entire phone conversation could be basically summarized as Adam trying to shift blame for the entire thing, and this comment explains it best. What Adam was really trying to say was, I'm sorry for talking behind your back to the wrong person. I'll do it with someone else who won't snitch on me next time. In Adam's mind, this still wasn't his fault, which is why he decided to fire Lush live in front of thousands of people, producing one of the funniest clips from the show in a while.
Yeah, fam.
Lush. You lied to me.
Live, bro.
You lied to me, Lush.
About what?
What I just tried to talk to you about in the hall?
Nah.
Oh boy, in the middle is so uncomfortable.
Nah.
Yeah.
I didn't say nothing.
It's crazy when niggas know they did say something and they have to pretend like they didn't say nothing when everyone in the room knows you said something.
Well, I got confirmation from a bunch of different people.
Nah, fool.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. And it looks funnier the more you lie. I honestly think, at least for now, maybe we could come to the bottom of this at some point, but it's probably better that you just leave.
All right.
Thank you.
And this is, again, another example of content is king. Like, this is a conversation he could have had, like, behind the scenes, you know? But he's choosing to, like, involve the public. And, dude, that's where you mess up. The same thing with, like, AD. Like, if he would have just went up to him and been like, hey, man, this is not really working out. Let's, like, retool. And we're going to, I don't think, like AD said, AD seems like he's so busy that I don't think he really would have cared. He probably would have devoted more time into his own projects, which were going swimmingly, you know? But the fact that he went and talked to like this new guy, and obviously he'd feel betrayed when, like, dude, he was there for Adam in very dangerous times.
Unfortunately for Adam, the damage had already been done, so AD decided to leave NoJumper permanently, taking T-Rail, Duno, and Smack along with him for their own shows, which left multiple holes in NoJumper all at the same time. It's even more interesting that Adam still takes no blame for how things went down with AD.
I told him what the plan was, and he, you know, he's like an ex-addict, and he really like needs people to confide in. So he basically goes in the NoJumper Discord and ends up spilling the beans about what was going to happen with the podcast to random fans, which was just mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing are the exact words that you can use to describe what he did to his employees in May of 2024, which ended multiple jobs in the process.
As of today, or as of tomorrow, the news, NoJumper News, it's over. The Monday show, the Wednesday show, and the Thursday show also are over. I've decided that I really want to focus NoJumper.
But one person who can relate to ADAM22 when it comes to beefing with everyone.
That's all he would have had to say. Like, all he would have had to do is basically just state the facts. Hey guys, these are the views we're generating. It honestly isn't cost effective to keep doing these shows. We're gonna honestly retool. Like, that would have been a lot more of a clean break. But the way he's doing things is just so terrible, man.
Including your own staff is Joe Budden. Although there has always been respect from each side to some degree, Joe has always shown a little bit of animosity towards ADAM22.
Culture vulture.
And these days, Budden can be heard saying ADAM22's NoJumper is, quote, in the toilet.
NoJumper as a whole,
the podcast has gotten
Mac 100 is really.
He's saving
it.
Well, ADAM22 can be heard lashing out on social media, claiming that Joe Budden is not in the big three of media outlets. Alongside him, DJ Academics and DJ Vlad.
There's a big three and you're not in it. It's me, Vlad, and that fat motherfucker you were sitting.
But where does this beef come from?
Another example of money in the wrong hands, man. The dude feels so entitled. And yeah, if we look at the new media list this year, like, Adam's fallen even further. I want to say around 20 or 22, which is hilarious, given his name.
Well, as you guys may know, Joe Budden is incredibly passionate about hip-hop culture. And to him, people like ADAM22 don't really see eye to eye, because he believes that he doesn't really love hip-hop and is only here to profit off not only the genre, but black trauma in general. This was especially clear when ADAM22 made an appearance on JBP, where Joe would make an interesting point, claiming how NoJumper's content about hip-hop is always negative and clickbait.
Which one?
Any of them. Read that one right there. Hey, Alex, put the arrow above the one you wanted to read. Yeah, that one right there. Yeah, that one right there.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's the one. I interviewed
that one.
I interviewed FBG Cash, and this was a clip from the interview. FBG Cash claims Lil Durk told him to take a photo at King Von's mural.
This is a microcosm of this business and what goes on and how some people look at black artists, black lives. Like, come on, Adam, you got a bigger responsibility than this as a multi-millionaire from fucking hip-hop.
Truth bomb.
Honestly, I think Joe Budden is giving him a lot more credit than he deserves as far as having a good moral compass.
ADAM22 would fire back though, claiming that no one he did videos about have claimed it was disrespectful.
I know many guys from O Block, right? I've been there. I know these guys. I interviewed a bunch of them. I fuck with the GDs as well. None of them have told me that they think these titles are in any way out of line, because to them it just seems like common sense. If you're gonna interview these guys, of course you're gonna talk about the shit that they actually talk about in their music.
Now you sound like a label head.
Along with calling ADAM22 disgusted for re-uploading interviews he did with Kevin Samuels after he passed, the pressure was on Adam to really
Vlad be doing the same thing, man.
Try and prove Joe wrong during this interview. And interestingly, a lot of fans in the comments saluted the way Adam handled the heat from Joe. Completely agreed with Adam. Joe thought he had Adam under pressure, but Adam actually held his ground quite strongly here. However, when Joe Budden and Adam teamed up for the Conversation Lovers Only podcast, Joe had ADAM22 cornered when he asked the NoJumper CEO to address some serious allegations against him. For those who don't know, in 2018, a Twitter user by the name of Helen would release a tweet alleging that ADAM22 had SA'd her when she was 2 years below the age of 18 to be exact. The tweet read as follows: ADAM22 of NoJumper manipulated me into sexual relationships when I was a girl, R-worded me when I was 19, and then doxed me with a revenge porn blog months after he R-worded me, which included topless photos of me as a minor. Now, this story gets really deep, and your boy Luesta is trying to stay on YouTube's good side, if you know what I mean. But if you ever want to read more into it, I suggest you do a few Google searches on your own time. But supposedly, there are dozens of witnesses and screenshots where Adam kind of admits it, but overall, he strongly denied these claims. However, in 2023, another story was brought to the light by P-Busters, which I'm not going to say their full name because, again, YouTube. But they got kicked off the NoJumper podcast after they accused him of talking to a girl who wasn't 18 yet. As reported on Hip Hop DX, the curators of the Instagram account @officialpbusters shared a pair of clips of their appearance on NoJumper, in which they addressed ADAM22's recent admission that he allegedly had a single phone conversation with a girl who was not the age of 18,
Obviously,
but
he's a big
immediately
hypocrite.
ended the conversation when he realized she was not the age of 18. In his account of events, ADAM22 said that he and the woman somehow reconnected when she was 19, at which point they started a sexual relationship. Again guys, I'm sorry, but this clip is a bit too touchy for YouTube. However, you can check out the clip on this YouTube channel. When confronting Adam about it, Joe Budden told Adam that even if this timeline was accurate, the relationship would still technically be inappropriate.
Yeah, it seems like grooming 101.
Wherever she was from, so she didn't know what she was doing, but you knew what you were doing. You said, I knew what I was doing, so I got away from her. Well, you didn't get away from her if by the grace of God, she ends up back in your life while she's now of age. You're spending the night at her fucking mom's house. What type of white boy pervert shit are you? What are you talking?
What is the pervert shit about dating somebody once they are legal and of age?
I'm gonna let you guys tell me what you think about this altercation in the comments.
Nasty work.
Obviously, ADAM22 is one wicked individual, and although he's loved in the hip-hop space for the amazing interactions he's had with rappers and celebrities.
No, I feel like I don't think he's loved. I think people respect a lot of the moments he helped create, obviously. Like I said, the X interview, there's a lot of these interviews that were like iconic moments in hip-hop, because it was for a lot of these people like their first time getting like this type of exposure. Respect those moments, but like, dude, as a person, I don't know, man.
Celebrities alike, there's a darker side to his brand that I feel he should address a bit more properly. Either that, or his reputation and legacy will eventually be tarnished in the foreseeable future.
Honestly, like, the dude does seem like a dirtbag. I don't know why we're trying to like convince ourselves otherwise, or I don't even think people are trying to convince themselves otherwise. I feel like everyone kind of already knows that the dude is like a shark, especially when it comes to like, all right, doing whatever it takes to be able to get these moments like on tape. And it's like, dude, it's nasty work. The dude has destroyed friendships. He's destroyed business relationships, and he's destroyed relationships with people that have kind of really batted for him, you know? So it's like, dude, any new person that comes into that situation can't be surprised when he burns them, because bro, he's been doing this for a while now, and the examples just keep coming in. But it's going to be interesting to see. The NoJumper network has definitely seen a lot of changes. They got super regional, and it definitely like it got a huge retooling when they like basically fired recently. They fired like 70-80% of like the shows that were still there. So they're doing a complete major rehaul. Like I think the only people there are really like Whack, Flacco, I think, and like Sharp and Brick Baby. Like, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how they pivot. Definitely let me know in the comments what you guys think. And is there any victims of ADAM22 or NoJumper that weren't referenced here that you think I should look into? Definitely let me know in the comments. I hope you guys love the video, and I hope to see you guys soon. And thank you guys so much. The channel has been growing. It's been growing amazingly. And the comments you guys are leaving are honestly like all the motivation in the world to keep like doing these. So yeah, definitely hit the subscription button. Definitely, and also hit the notification bell. Just to make sure you guys are like up to date when like new stuff drops. Hope you guys love the video, and I hope to see you guys soon.